The Jetset 5 setup behind me is an affordable and easy to set up inflatable air tent from Zempire. I'm going to take you for a walkthrough. Let's check it out.
Hit it.
Hey folks, Ben from Snowy's here today at the Brown Hill Creek Tourist Park in Adelaide's leafy eastern suburbs. It is a caravan park in a nice little bush setting that's an easy and relaxing getaway for Adelaideans or anyone passing through the area. This is the Jetset 5 inflatable air tent behind me here. I'm going to check it out. It weighs about 14 kilos or just over 14 kilos when it's packed up, and it packs up to about 70 centimeters in length and about 35 centimeters in diameter. Doesn't have a hard frame in there that makes it bulky and heavy, so it's ideal for family campers who don't have a lot of space inside their vehicle. It sets up really easily, it's affordable as well, and it offers excellent ventilation. Now you can use it with or without this fly sheet here. The beauty of not having the frame integrated with, or a hard metal frame or alloy frame integrated into the tent, is that you can set the whole thing up and pack it away with the fly attached, so it makes setup really quickly. So start by looking at the fabrics that it's made of. Now the fly sheet is a 75 denier 190 thread count polyester, and it's got a 5,000 millimeter waterhead. It is seam sealed throughout. As we move back towards the inner tent, this is made of a combination of 75 denier 190T polyester with bug-proof mesh in the roof vents here, in the doors and in the windows that I'll show you shortly. The floor is a heavy-duty 180 GSM polyethylene, or it's like a tarp type material, so it's got that crinkly feel, but it is a really heavy-duty floor on that one there. And the poles, now this is where this tent's unique. It's an air pole, so this is the actual pole here. Now this has a TPU or a rubbery type bladder inside. I'm pretty sure it's TPU. And that's zipped inside this dual layer or 2 to 3 layer protective material on the outside. So they're really well protected. A lot of people are concerned about punctures in air poles like this. Look, it can happen, but these guys are pretty well protected. You shouldn't have a problem. Now these combine with a little bit of fiberglass in these poles here. There's one at the front and the back that just run along the top here to just bring this fly up and out to create a bit more space up underneath. And then there's a couple of steel poles included as well, which are these ones here, just as the awning poles. That's probably a good lead into this awning here. Now this front section here we can set up in a number of ways. I've got it set up as a shade awning out here. Now I'm 180 centimeters tall, so it is quite low. I do have to crouch down to get in underneath here, but if you were to sit in under there, it's going to give you a bit of protection. Alternatively, we can do away with these poles and just zip this closed as a weather protected awning at the front here. There's not a lot of space to stand up in the awning, or the vestibule, sorry, when it's set up like that, but it does give you a little bit of storage space. So moving around the outside of the tent here to the side, we can see we've got a small sort of weather protected awning over the top of this window here. Now I'll show you inside how this adjusts, but there's an internally adjustable privacy screen there. And this window goes right from the top to the bottom here. There is seam sealing that runs along the bottom here, so when that internal privacy screen is done up and the rain hits this, it's going to run away from the tent. There's extra flaps and things here to protect all the seams where there could potentially be a leak, so the water runs away. As we move further around to the rear of the tent here, you'll see there's actually a bit of a peak at the back here. This gives us a bit of weather protected storage that's accessible from the inside. Another cool feature of this though is that we can actually set this up or open it up a little bit for a little bit of extra ventilation. If we just roll this open here, there's an extra tab just here, which allows us to secure this open like this. And on a warm night, or if it's humid or even rainy, we can have this rolled up like this. We're getting ventilation in underneath here still, and we've still got a bit of weather protected space in front of that door. It's pretty much all the features on the outside. I want to step inside now, show you everything in there. As I step inside the Jetset 5 here, I just mentioned these doors. They are double doors, so you've got a solid panel and a mesh panel to these doors, so you can either seal it up completely for privacy or allow the ventilation through. Now these zip right open. There's actually 3 zipper pulls that feature on this door. So this second one acts as the power access point. So we can actually just zip that back a little way and get our power access, or get a cord in there, 12 or 240 volt power to run our lanterns, fans, or whatever we like to run inside. Once this is zipped open, there is a little stash pocket in the corner here for you to put the door into, so it's in out of the way. As I step it back inside the tent here now, I'm talking about the height of it. I'm 185 centimeters, so I can stand comfortably in the middle here, reasonably comfortably most of the way over to the side before my head starts to hit the side. They say it's 190 centimeters. It's a little bit less than that by my measurements. In the middle here, you've got a lantern hook. Now this is only half of what's supposed to be here. There's actually a male side of this that clips into this tri-release buckle and a loop so that you can hang your lantern here. It's gone missing on this tent for some reason. Looking at the ventilation in the tent, these are all mesh panels in the roof here, so tons of ventilation throughout. And on each side of the tent here, we've got full length mesh windows that go from top to bottom here, and they've got internally adjustable privacy panels that zip all the way up. Now, Zempire have accounted for, I mentioned it before, I'll say it again, they've accounted for the water, the ingress that could potentially happen at the base of the fly here. This is seam sealed. There's a flap on the outside that goes over any seams that might leak, so you're not going to get any water in there, and these can be zipped up from the inside for full weather protection. It overlaps at the top here, and you've got another tab. So this window features on both sides of the tent. And then at the rear, a little bit different. You've got a privacy panel at the top here, which can be zipped open or closed with a little tab in the middle there as well. And then at the bottom, this is also a ventilation port. We can zip this completely closed if we like. Alternatively, we can leave it open just with the mesh as it was before, or we can actually zip it right open for access to our rear storage port here. Now this goes about 1 meter out at the very peak there, but you've got a little bit less storage than that really because of the slope, but enough room for a few bags and some shoes and things in the back there. Now the front vestibule, if you were to set that awning up zipped closed, the front vestibule comes about 80 centimeters out from the edge of the tent there and slopes back immediately. So there's not a lot of room to stand in, but once again, just enough room for storage of a few bags, shoes, maybe a small esky. Now with regards to space inside the tent here, it's about 280 centimeters width and 280 centimeters in depth. They say it's up to 5 person. It's probably a comfortable 4-person tent. It's a really good tent for a family of 4. I've got some airbeds that I'm going to try and stick in here. I've got a double high queen and 2 singles. I think I'll probably only fit the queen and the single here. I'm going to go and grab them and show you how they fit. Now this is a double high queen airbed here, which measures just under 2 meters in length, about 150 centimeters in width. And this guy here is an XL single, which measures just a little under 190 by around about 90 or just under in width. So both of these in here, I've got a bit of access down the middle here, plenty of storage at the end. I'm probably not gonna fit, I wouldn't fit another XL single airbed in here. So enough room for 3. You'd probably fit 3 single airbeds side by side in here, or if you were to use smaller hike mats, you'd certainly fit them, well potentially 5 of them across this way, 4 and 1 at the end there. So I'd say this is a comfortable tent for a family of 2 adults and maybe 2 smaller kids. Now the last thing I haven't really shown you, or the last thing I want to show you with the air tent is just how flexible the air poles are in the wind. If they were to bend, they just bounce back. Let me show you. Well, one of the real benefits I love of the air pole systems over steel poles was if the wind picked up really badly or something fell on your tent and did this to your steel pole tent, your tent would be rendered pretty much useless. But with an air pole, these guys just keep bouncing back into place. So I reckon an air tent is a really good long-term investment in your camping outings, and set up properly with all their ropes and everything. These are really sturdy. So look, this is a really affordable option for family camping, and it is really easy to set up and won't take up too much space in the boot of your car. You can grab them online at snowies.com.au at our lowest prices every day, free delivery to just about anywhere in Australia. Got any questions about us, about this tent? Let us know down in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel. We'll send you all of our latest and greatest information, or if you want to check out some other tent videos, try this one down here.